Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. How is your day going? As for me, I'm very happy to know that King Charles has made a move to affirm his trust in Prince William while completely ignoring Prince Harry. And now, let me go deeply into the video to discuss this move by the king. From 2022, it won't be until May of this year that we witness the king's first joint engagement with Prince William. And it's a good thing when King Charles decided to give Prince of Wales command of Prince Harry's former army while Harry was having fun with his wife in Nigeria. His Majesty has made his eldest son and heir colonel-in-chief of the Army Air Corps, the combat aviation arm of the British Army, at a ceremony at the Army Aviation Center in Hampshire. As someone who has loved and followed the royal family for a long time, I was very happy to see the father and son happily smiling while the king handed over Prince William an Army Air Corps beret and belt. In fact, when Harry made the decision to step back from royal life in 2020, I, like many people, thought he might continue serving with 662 SQN as an Apache helicopter pilot. However, he completely left this position and only received a legendary award that was said to be purchased earlier this year. In his speech, the king said absolutely nothing about Harry. He only praised Prince William's talents and achievements. And surely you will never forget the fact that no royal family member met Harry when he came to London to attend the 10th anniversary of the Invictus Games. Although both sides still offer reasons as to why the paths of Harry and his family never crossed, we can all implicitly understand that this rift is beyond repair. I wondered, as he and his wife finished their pretend royal visit, what Harry would think when he saw the image of his father and brother appearing together. Will being welcomed like rock stars make him happy while being estranged from his family is clearly shown. And when Prince William is increasingly recognized, despite always contributing silently, Harry's reputation is decreasing. Perhaps it is time for Harry to seriously rethink all issues. That's a simple example. His privileges will definitely leave, so his roles and positions will gradually disappear. This would be obvious. For example, if you are the president of a club, when you are no longer active and building that club, it is obvious that someone else will replace you, right? Some people criticize King Charles for being too heartless, but I believe he was lenient with his spoiled son long enough. So think simply. Harry left the royal family and his country, so they don't want to hold on or have anything to do with outsiders anymore. But on the contrary, Harry and Meghan are still constantly milking and taking advantage of everything related to Harry's family to gain attention and make money. That is the difference between those who are busy contributing to the country and those who are doing nothing. For the royal family, it's time to move on. On a brighter note, I love King Charles and Prince William appearing together. Their combined class, dignity, sense of duty, and general goodness is a balm for the soul in these troubled times. They show a remarkable sense of duty despite their tough personal struggles. Charles and Princess Catherine's health issues. The late Queen Elizabeth would be proud. Best wishes to them. As for Harry, I really don't know what to say about him in this state. Perhaps the day will soon come when he leaves the limelight. Certainly sooner than Meghan. Gradually, no one welcomed him anymore. Most obviously in the UK and US, he was no different from normal people here. And look at the Sussex couple's visit to Nigeria. It was supposed to be about Invictus, but the majority of the coverage was about Meghan and her supposed 43% Nigerian ties and what she wore. I want to turn the issue around. If Harry remained in the royal family, how would things turn out? If he had continued in some form as a working royal, it would probably still not looked good with Harry in this position, albeit it's a symbolic one. He may not have made those remarks about killing, but there's still the fudge over his training, qualifications, and performance that are still not clear. Harry didn't fly Apache helicopters, he was a co-pilot. Maybe he was never good enough to become a pilot. Certainly. He appears to have resigned from the armed forces because he was not bright enough to pass the necessary exams to progress in rank. Then there is the allegation that he was also in a huff because he didn't get on with his CO. Who knows? The actual pilot is Prince William, who has flown a helicopter many times. He likely is a good pilot. He flew rescue missions in dangerous conditions. So even if Harry stays, the king handing over this position to Prince William is still possible. It just takes a little longer. Yes. So, this won't be worth mentioning. The issue I want to discuss is the king's stubborn attitude not to mention Harry. Well, that's the only way to sort the Sussex out. Take control of all they had and reject it. And don't give them a mention. Well done, King Charles. A harsh lesson well deserved by Harry. There are consequences when a kid insults a country and the father happens to be the king. As a monarch of a country insulted by Harry and his wife, King Charles should act like a monarch and respect the British people who took these insults to heart. You may think I'm a little biased, but my sympathy for Prince Harry has long since disappeared. So reassuring to see King Charles and Prince William so relaxed and happy. Harry chose to leave the UK and the royal family, so this is appropriate. William served in the military too. Harry picked his life path with the great manipulator, so, as we all do, will have to suffer the consequences of his decisions.
Harry knew when he stepped down as a working royal that he could not
Possibly continue to carry out his honorary roles handed to him by his grandmother. There was no way he could carry on while living so far away. Any complaints or whining that may well come from him and his wife about William taking over as Cincy from his father is just pathetic infantile nonsense. His choice, his loss. Harry does not deserve to be put in charge of anything to do with the army. He proved that when he preferred to tout for his wife for a part in a Disney film rather than do his duty, he was a huge embarrassment and disappointment to his grandmother. He proved without a doubt that he was ungrateful and not worthy. He has to accept that actions have consequences. They are not immune to them. Perhaps only blind fans of Harry and Meghan criticize the king for his moves to cut off Harry. They are hypocrites like the Sussex couple, and that is why they are fans. Anyone with any decency about them can see that Harry and his wife have brought this all on themselves by betraying his family for monetary gain. You cannot stab your family in the back several times, and then because your plan did not work, expect to be forgiven. Some things are unforgivable, especially when you are all adults. All I can say is that the Sussex fans do not have loyal, trusting relationships with their families. The Sussex is irrelevant to this country now. If Harry wants to see his father, then it should be done in private with no publicity or a chapter in Harry's next book, The Reject. Prince William's appointment to this post is just the start. When Prince William becomes king, then the real fun will start. How sad that the king feels under so much stress when Harry is around. He must be deeply hurt that he can no longer trust him. Time. Harry grew up, he's a middle-aged man behaving like a spoiled child. So they didn't meet because Harry and his wife went too far, publicly bad-mouthing his family, not just once but several times over. They are trying to dominate the headlines with a non-royal tour. Meanwhile, in the real world, our king and his loyal son are carrying out official business. The fracture in the family is nobody's business, but and who can blame any of the family not wanting anything to do with Harry after what he and his wife have said? I'm so sick of hearing about poor Harry, how he wanted to see his father, but the king couldn't make time. If every time you saw your father you reported back word for word to the rest of the world, would your father feel comfortable with you? I think not. Harry needs to stop listening to their wife and stop broadcasting nasty comments about his family. Then maybe the king will feel comfortable in his company. Harry made his choice. He left the working royals because he couldn't do it on his and Meghan's terms, and then they spent the next years dragging Harry's family and accusing them of cruelty. King Charles needs to protect other members of his family from Harry's public outbursts. Poor Charles doesn't deserve what Harry and Markle have done, and Queen Elizabeth certainly didn't deserve it either. So the king need not mention Harry in any way. He was the one who walked away and didn't want to be a full-time working royal or member of the family. His choice, but now he seems to be regretting certain things. He and his wife have been so vitriolic, unkind, and cruel in the things they have said, done, and written since leaving the royal family. They wanted privacy, but that didn't last long. As they loved to be filmed and fawned upon, the privacy soon lost its shine. Very few people now believe anything Harry or Meghan say. Harry will always behave like a spoilt child because he didn't get what he wanted. Then cry about it to anyone who will listen. If this were my son, I wouldn't be able to trust him or want to see him. I cannot blame Charles as he is still battling cancer and no doubt can't trust Harry with anything. That also brings us to the end of this video. I would be happy if you would join the discussion in the comment box. And don't forget to like and share the video. Your support is our motivation. Let's subscribe to receive notifications about the newest videos. We will be back soon. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.